Hello everybody and welcome, I am Boom, and today we're finally heading back to Pokemon Emerald. While part of me wants to run through this game with the legendaries released this generation, I should probably see if I can beat the game with a fully evolved form of the starters. While I think that the first forms can do the job just fine, Swampert is my favorite of most of the Generation 3 Pokemon, and you know me, I'm gonna focus on my favorites. If you really want to see me struggle and losing my mind, take a look at my previous Plusle and Minun or my Dustox and Beautifly run, because this game did a really good job of bringing in a lot of pairs of Pokemon. Granted, they are all terrible Pokemon, except for Solrock and Lunatone, which I actually did a run in, but for the most part, they're all pretty horrid. For quick coverage of the rules and whatnot, we can only use Swampert in battle, and there are no items allowed in battle. We go ahead and replace what I thought was Mudkip with Swampert, but somehow we messed that up and replaced Turtwig with Swampert, and we accidentally gave the rival Torchic. At the end of the day, this is one of the easier rivals to go against, and we also have Wally to deal with, though admittedly he's not the biggest challenge either. So I wasn't really worried about fixing it. If it turns out that it was like Pokemon Fire Red, Leaf Green, where the rival meets us at the end with a fully evolved Pokemon, then I would go back and correct it. But in this case, it's fine. To take a look at Swampert, we have Torrent, which ups our water moves, and a Relaxed Nature, which increases defense and lowers speed. Not the best nature, but could absolutely be worse. With May, she sends out Torchic, and we open up with Mudslap, taking it to yellow as we lower its accuracy, and it uses Growl. Next turn, we use Mudslap again, and manage to take it out. A very exhilarating battle that was a real nail-biter from beginning to end. As we make our way through the beginning of the game, Swampert is absolutely drowning everything. Despite Swampert being more of a physical attacker, his special attack isn't horrible. At the end of the day, I can see his speed stat being what holds us back, given the fact that some grass types are actually speedy, and even the ones that aren't the fastest will probably be able to survive a hit and take us down. But that's future Boom and Swampert problems. It's time to fight Roxanne. Roxanne starts with Geodude, and we open up with Water Gun to take it out in one shot. The next Geodude also goes down to one shot as well. Last up is Nosepass, a surprisingly tanky Pokemon for this early in the game, but we just learned Mudshot. Water Gun takes it to about half, and Rock Tomb barely touches us, but does lower our already bad speed as the berry activates. We swap over to Mudshot to take it to yellow and lower its speed as Roxanne potions up. We continue with Mudshot, and a few turns later, we take it down for the win. From there, we have to give the Devon goods back to someone who shouldn't be trusted with sensitive information, or even a Neopet. We finish that part, reunite a man with his bird, and then we can head to Dewford to play Delivery Boy for a little while. While on the way in doing all this, just as a reminder, if you like this kind of content, you should subscribe to the channel. For the most part, we've dwindled down to just 1 or 2 days on Twitch per week, and we're kind of focusing more on YouTube. With my new job, I may not be able to stream at my normal time, but I can still absolutely work on videos during that time. I actually just reacted to the first episode of The Legend of Korra. I reacted to my first Pokemon challenge ever. That was rough. And of course, the Scheduling Conflicts podcast, so there's a lot of balls in the air. In that time, though, we've made it to Brawley and leveled up a bit, so let's take a look at this battle. Machop is first, and we open up with Water Gun, since their special isn't that great either, nailing it with a one-shot critical hit. Next is Meditite, and we use Water Gun to take it to half as it uses Light Screen, so we swap to Mudshot and nail it with that to take it down. Last is Makuhita, and we continue with Mudshot, taking it below half as it uses Bulk Up and the berry activates. We can continue with Mudshot and take it back to yellow as it uses Bulk Up again. So we swap back over to Water Gun, since it's now got 2 physical boosts, and take it to red as Reversal hits hard, and the Light Screen wears off. Brawley heals up, and we use Water Gun to take it to half, and while I'm thinking, alright, we've lost, another Water Gun actually takes it out to win the battle, but it was much closer than I wanted it to be. Now, normally, we're coming up on one of the harder of the May fights, but Given the fact that we somehow messed up with literally the easiest part of the game, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue here. On a side note, by the way, what's your favorite Pokemon game from the main series? For me, despite the magnitude of problems it has, it's Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Honestly, I'd like to jump back into that to do more challenges, but Emerald and Fire Red are perfect length for these videos, and I admittedly don't have too much time as is. Oh look, it's time to fight May! May sends out Wingull and 2 tackles take it down. Absorb is absolutely wrecking us, but we do manage to take it out, albeit with very little health. We level up and then take Combusken out with 2 water guns, though it almost finishes us off with double kick. From there, we go ahead, we finish off the trainers on this route, and then of course, go through the trainers to the right of Mauville. We also teach Wally a lesson by decimating his Ralts, and in turn, we take out the trainers in the gym as well. And then with that, it's actually time to fight Watson. Watson sends out Voltorb first and opens with Rollout, and we take it down with Mudshot. Electrike is next and uses Quick Attack, and Mudshot takes it down in 1 shot. Next up is Magneton, and it too goes down in 1 shot. Last but not least is Manectric, and it also goes down in 1 shot to witness the badge, taking out one of the harder gym leaders without any issues whatsoever. Now, I didn't know this until this run-through because I was just going to experiment with it, but later on, when Watson is standing outside and wants to send you to the power plant, you can just ignore that entirely. Turns out it is just an optional mission to be able to get yourself Thunderbolt if you really want it. I had no idea, so it's fine. I've only wasted hours. It's fine. Now, the good news is, Swampert is absolutely killing it in terms of how quickly he's progressing through the game, and honestly, without having to level up all too much. We do end up fighting through a bit of the Magma and Aqua plotline, and without any issues, we find ourselves ready to face Roxanne, and I think you know how it's gonna go. Numel's first, and we can take it down with Water Gun. Slugma, one of the worst Pokemon in my opinion, is a 1-shot with Water Gun. Camera up to Zout, we can keep going with Water Gun, taking it down in 1 shot. And last but not least is Torkoal, who goes below half with Water Gun, hits us with Body Slam, and then another Water Gun takes it out, and that is that. So, let's go ahead and skip to the Norman fight, because this actually ends up taking us a couple different times. That's mostly because of my own lack of focus. I keep forgetting that, you know, he has loafing terms. Sometimes, your boy completely forgets what he's doing in the middle of the run and immediately goes to autopilot, which is a horrible idea. But let's take a look at the Norman battle once we focus up. We take Spinda down to red, and then get hit with Uproar, and then Norman heals, and we hit it with Tackle, and then we take it down. Vigoroth comes out, hits us with Slash, and we take it to yellow with Mudshot, and then Outspeed to take it down next turn. Lanoon headbutts, and then we take it down, and then up next is the Powerhouse, Slacking. With Slacking, it's us growling on its attacking turn, and then attacking while it's loafing, which does let us take it down, though it was far closer than I was hoping, and I say this a lot in just about every video I do. If the AI would just attack, I would have so many more lost attempts. We have a Weather Institute to save, but not before losing to a random trainer that has 4 times Absorb, wrecking us, and us having to start up again before the Norman fight, and making our way all the way back to the Weather Institute, clearing that, and then getting challenged by the final time for May. Pelipper is up first, and we start with Tackle. In between its Protect, we Surf to take it to red, smack ourselves due to confusion, and then take it down. With Lombre, for some reason it only uses Absorb once, and Swift for its other attack, so we take it down without any issue. Last up is Combusken, and we can take it down for a clean victory. Which is weird, because if the Lombre would have just focused on using Absorb, we probably would have lost that, given the fact that it does 4 times oh god, Winona has a Tropius. Winona starts out with Swablu, and we can take it down with a single Surf. With Tropius, it begins charging for Solar Beam, and we can take it to yellow. A single Solar Beam takes us all the way down to 67 HP, but a Surf is powerful enough to take it down. Pelipper likes to stall with Protect, and we can take it to low yellow before Winona heals up. A few surfs later, we do manage to take it down thanks to a lucky critical hit. Skarmory goes to red, Winona heals up, and then Skarmory goes down to another surf. Altaria dances twice as we take it to low with Surf, and the berry takes it out of healing range. Altaria swaps to Aerial Ace, taking us down to 18 HP before we can take it down and win the battle. With Winona down and out, we can complete a bit more of the Magma and Aqua plotline, and if you thought that I wasn't going to cover a single Maxi fight, well, looky here! Mightyena goes to red with Surf and only uses Scary Face. Maxi heals up as we tackle it to yellow, and Mightyena uses Swagger to raise our attack, and we take it down with Surf. Next up is Crobat and hits us with Wing Attack as we continue surfing to take it to yellow. Maxi heals up, we smack ourselves like a big old goober. It Wing Attacks and then goes down 2 turns later, and then last up is Camerupt, and we can take it down with a single Surf. We have a fight that, for once, I'm actually feeling pretty confident about going into the Tate and Liza battle. With them, they send out Xatu and Claydol first, and we do a good bit of damage to them as Psychic wrecks our Electrike, and then they do a little to our actual Swampert. The next turn, we take out the Claydol and the Xatu due to a critical hit. With Solrock, we knock it out in 1 surf, and with Lunatone, we can take it down in 2 surfs as it only uses Calm Mind in the meantime. Pretty easy battle to cover. We have the last little bit of the Aqua Magma nonsense to take care of. We only have one more gym leader to take care of, and that's Swan and his water types. Love Disc goes down to a single Earthquake, and so does Whiscash. From there, it's a one-shot on Crawdon, and the Kingdra is where things get a little bit dicey. We can keep Earthquaking it, and it basically just keeps going to sleep, so we can't take it down, but eventually, it stays asleep long enough for us to finally do so. Not much of a recap, mind you, but when the sleepy dragon wants to sleep, you Earthquake it into oblivion. We can make our way toward the Elite Four now, but there is one more battle that we need to take care of first, and that's Wally. With Altaria, we just have to keep trying to drown it while it dances, and Aerial Ace takes us down to 88 HP before we can take it down. After that, the rest of his team is a one-shot sweep with Earthquake, aside from the Gardevoir, who is able to set up Future Sight before going down to a single Earthquake. After that, we get through the rest of Victory Road, and we have the Elite Four and hopefully a Secret Steven fight to get through. First up is Sydney. Mightyena's up first and goes to red with Surf, hitting us with Sand Attack. We use Tackle as he heals up, and then we swap to Surf to take it down. After that, both the Cacturn and the Shiftry both go down to a single Ice Beam each. Crawdon goes to yellow with Surf, uses Swords Dance, and then goes down. Last but not least is Absol, who goes down to 2 Surfs. BT Dubs, make sure to check out my Absol only run. Next up is Phoebe, and starts with Dusclops, and this ghost is the bane of my existence. Using Protect, plus its pressure ability, means that we have to try and play this as smart as we can, and we do manage to take it out with some HP and PP on our moves to spare. The Bayonet goes down to it. If you're hearing crashing, my cat is currently playing with Legos. The Bayonet goes down to a single Surf, and then the Sableye goes down to 2 Surfs. The next Bayonet goes down to a critical hit Surf, and then the last Dusclop goes down to Earthquake, so that's 2 of the Elite Four down. We have Glacie up next, and I feel pretty confident about this one. And that was entirely misplaced. You can see here that we can sometimes make it to Walrein, but we're getting absolutely wrecked in the meantime. The fact, though, that we can make it to Walrein is a pretty good side, I think, but we do end up having to do some leveling up, and we have to go all the way up to 65, unfortunately, but overall, this is the first time I can think of in this run, and the 2 days of writing this script, that we've had to level up to get past anything. So at level 65, it's mostly just using Earthquake and hoping that we can tank the damage. With the Walrein, it's still landing some pretty good hits, but we managed to survive with about 90 HP left, so we could take it down and call it a day. On to Drake, and probably someone I'll do better against. Despite the fact that Swampert is a physical attacker, he has a decent enough special attack, and you'll see that here with Ice Beam. With the first 2 Pokemon he sends out, they both go down to a single Ice Beam each. With the Kingdra, it starts by Dragon Dancing, and we get it to yellow. Drake heals up, and we take it right back to yellow before taking it down. After that, Flygon hits us with Earthquake and goes down, and then the Salamence Bro. Kittens are great, y'all. Then the Salamence hits us with Dragon Claw to 47 HP and then also goes down. That was a bit closer than I expected, but the extra bulk with Swampert's defense with that relaxed nature is probably what kept us alive. Last up is Wallace. Wailord goes to yellow with Earthquake, heals up, and then we critical hit it to take it down. Next up is Ludicolo, and... well, you know how I said a random trainer who had a Pokemon with Absorb wrecks us? It's not even close to being close. Unfortunately, 2 Absorbs is all it takes to take down Swampert, and we're not even able to take it to half. We end up having to level up again all the way to 75. It's an odd moment, because we have to be able to do a decent amount of damage, but we also have to be able to survive the Absorbs, and then outweigh the healing that he does with the Absorbs, but let's just watch. Wailord goes to what I have to imagine is 1 HP even after the heal-ups, and we do end up taking it down. With Ludicolo, we can take it to about half, and Wallace just has a double team. Thankfully, we connect with the second Earthquake, and that lets us take it down. After that, Tentacruel's a simple one-shot. Whiscash goes to red, uses Amnesia, and spends some time healing up before finally going down. Gyarados spends way too many turns dancing, and we do freeze it, but... he heals up again, but we take it down. Then it Hyper Beams us in the face, taking us below half, and then finally goes down. Finally, we have Milotic, and it goes below half to Earthquake, hitting us with Surf, and then going down to win us the challenge. Fun fact, though, the run isn't over. If you've watched this channel, or most YouTubers, you know there's a very not-so-secret Steven fight at the end. We learn from previous mistakes and equip a Pecha Berry as we go to fight the first time, knowing that Skarmory will probably use Toxic. Skarmory starts with Aerial Ace and goes to half with Surf. It uses Toxic, but the berry procs, and then we take it down. After that, the Cradily ends up taking us down with a few Giga Drains. Yeah, okay. At level 80, Skarmory uses Spike, so we can take it down without losing any HP, and then Aggron goes down in one shot. We end up taking Cradily down a little below half, and for some reason, out of the 33 battles we did, this is the one time it uses Ingrain, which finally allows us to take it down. Claydol goes to red, and then spends a lot of time healing up before we finally take it down. Metagross goes to red, hits us with Psychic as the berry takes it out of healing range, and then it goes down. Last is Armaldo, who goes down to a single shot to win us the battle. Not gonna lie, I kind of forgot how many Pokemon knew Absorb, Giga Drain, and the like, but it was a fun run overall. I really like Swampert as a Pokemon from a moves, design, and typing perspective. I have a Rotom run planned here soon, and even though I made the ROM, I've already forgotten what game I'll actually be completing it in, but I hope that you enjoyed this run. As always, if you want a video game character with your name, you can support me on Patreon, links below. And if you have any runs you'd like to see, make sure to drop them in the comments below, and as always, if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out.